Hello everyone, Elizabeth Gillis here, certified BodyTalk Healthcare practitioner. Welcome to episode 3 of the Corona sessions. So if this is your first time hearing about BodyTalk, I'm just going to talk a little bit about it. I highly recommend that you check out the first 2 videos that I've done in this Corona session series. But BodyTalk is cutting edge natural healthcare that draws on various methods of healthcare, including Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, brings in the facts and findings of Western medicine and science to transform physical, emotional, mental health, and also for prevention. So not only can BodyTalk help when people are ill or have physical symptoms, but it also works to correct imbalances in the body before they get so problematic that they manifest in the form of symptoms or illness and disease. So illness and disease manifests first on the energy body, and that is where it is best to be addressed. So it is after it has expanded because it's been neglected into the physical body, then sometimes it's a little bit more work to correct the imbalances. So don't judge me that I'm still drinking from a Christmas cup, but we're going to move on to doing the actual session now. So the first thing that we are addressing is emotional release of sadness from our hearts. So for some of you, this looks like crying and being really upset over missing the people in your life that you normally get to see often. And for others, it's that sadness of having missed out on things that were important because you were too busy before. So we're linking that to doing a fear of life will never be the same, and addressing qualities of the liver having to do with resentment. So we're letting go a lot of those attachments that we have. And in regards to that, the little link of the fear of life never being the same and the liver having to do with resentment, we've got a sub-session. We are addressing and disassociating a whole bunch of subconscious belief systems around depression when it comes to the heart. We're peeling that away, letting go of some of that. We're linking that to doing a balance of the base chakra that relates to survival, to the solar plexus chakra, that is your digestion, your receiving, your personal power. We are looking at balancing qualities of the gallbladder that have to do with bitterness and constant sadness, and balancing that to the apex, the very, very top area of the lungs, and allowing us to really be able to catch our breath. We are linking that to environmental factors that are specifically our televisions, and it is entering and causing a little bit of a control issue, and it's entering in and having an impact on both our subtle and physical sense of sight. And we have elements of losing touch of our intuition because we're constantly being beaten down by what others are saying. So being told something over and over and over again long enough that you start to believe it. When we're young, and some of you might have continued to be really great as far as being in touch with your intuition. It's something that we're kind of born with. The animals have it, they just know, the ants know when the bad weather's coming. The animals go to higher ground when the weather is going to be bad. And we naturally have that ability in us as well, and we naturally have that intuition, but it kind of gets downplayed, or we learn to not pay attention to that anymore and rely on more of logic and learning. So bringing in that intuition once again of what is right or wrong, or what is best for each individual or each one of you. So we're linking that to past events in which there was historical devastation. And what was coming up was specifically the Spanish influenza, in which there were millions of people that had passed on because of this epidemic. And then we're linking to doing a emotional release of confusion from our small intestines, We want our small intestines to not be confused. We want it to be able to discern, because our intestines are about discerning what we're going to hold on to, what we're going to let go of, and actually being able to release through the large intestine after the small intestine has digested everything that you've taken in. And we want to let go there's some level of rage in regards to everything that we've talked about so far. Parallel to that, we are strengthening the natural consciousness of the small intestines. So peeling away anything that is preventing that intellect, that discernment, that nourishment, and the expression and feelings of joy. We're linking that to our environment and the fresh air and its ability to actually cleanse us. And we have our very first tap out. So nice, slow, deep breaths. Tapping over the top of the head, or tapping over those of you that this is new. We're doing a tap over the head brain, the heart brain, and the enteric brain, or the gut brain, as it's also known as. Tapping over the top of the head is about getting the brain's attention to pay attention to the instructions that we have for it to follow out. And then tapping over the heart, nice slow deep breaths here, to store the changes that we're asking for the brain to make. And then tapping over the gut brain or the enteric brain for its role in discernment, decision making, and ideas. Excellent. Okay, our next formula starts out with a belief system. And this belief system is that humanity always bounces back. And that's linking to a belief system of it might do it without me this time. We're doing a link to the amygdala, which is located in the limbic brain, that has a tendency to hijack our logical thoughts as a response to something that it deems as being potentially dangerous, or starting our fight-flight response, or stimulating that. We're linking that to our circadian rhythms, our sleep-wake cycles. Some of you who may be on your phones or your tablets or your computers late at night, that does have a tendency to affect our circadian rhythms, and you may find it difficult to fall asleep at night if you have been on those devices prior to bedtime. We're doing a cellular repair of the pineal gland. The pineal gland is responsible for our masculine energy, our well-being, our rhythms, our spirituality and balance. Physically or physiologically, it is responsible for the production of melatonin, which regulates our sleep and our daily and seasonal circadian rhythms. We're linking that to doing a balance of our nervous systems, and we're going specifically to our peripheral nervous system. So this is all about transmission for action. So this is outside of the brain and spinal cord areas, but it's responsible for transmitting information that is in our environment from and to the central nervous system. So transmitting information that's picked up through our cranial nerves and from all the little branches of nerves that are throughout our body, from our environment, and giving information to the spinal cord and to the brain. We're linking that to our immune systems, and we're specifically focusing on the respiratory system part of our immunity. And we are addressing its role in filtering. It's got to filter out the bad so that we only take in the good, and addressing an emotional cleansing there as well. We're linking that to the kidneys and their role in excreting waste and decision making. And all of that is linking to strengthening the natural and the positive aspects of the planet Sedna. So the energy that Sedna has in regards to respect and protecting the innocent. Parallel to that formula, we are running the entire access routine. So those of you who have taken it, you know what it's all about. You know the basic 5 techniques that are run as a whole program for boosting health and wellness. Those of you who aren't familiar with it, there are 5 basic body talk techniques that are very important and benefit people by having them done on a regular basis. So they are cortices, switching, hydration, body chemistry, and then balancing the 25 pairs of reciprocals within the physical body. So I will go through what those are. The cortices is a balancing of all the different lobes in the brain from right hemisphere to left hemisphere. This helps to boost cognitive function. It helps wake up cold spots in the brain, areas of inactivity. We're getting the brain to pay better attention to what's going on with the body, allowing it to do a better job at making corrections and necessary upgrades. If the brain spends its time bickering between the two halves, then it's not spending its time actually doing scans of what's going on in the body. So you want to optimize the actual cognitive brain function and how it functions. We're doing switching, which is regulating how our bodies and our brains respond to stress in our environment. Hydration, cellular hydration helps to reduce pain, improves nerve conduction, information and transmission, and allows us to feel more joy. Running general body chemistry. Body chemistry allows the brain to focus on identifying pathogens and harmful invaders, to stimulate the body's natural response to destroy anything that doesn't belong and can be harmful. And then finally, there is more to access than just this. There is fast aid, but we're not doing that as part of this particular formula, but we are running all the 27 pairs of reciprocals to help, again, reduce physical pain, improve posture, joint movement, improve the communication and the function of the Wei Qi, and also the muscles and the joints of the body. Nice slow deep breaths. We're tapping out here. Nice full breaths while you're tapping over the top of the head. Allowing the brain to look at what's going on in the body, making all the upgrades that we're asking to occur. Tapping over the heart brain. And tapping over the gut brain. And that concludes episode 3 of the Corona sessions. So we're going to continue on. If this is your first experience, go back and watch episode 1 and 2. Those can be found on the Facebook page. I will be doing a link onto my website, so you'll be able to probably get links to those videos through the events and the news page on my website. And all of you be happy and healthy and well. And I will see you again for another section next week. And belated happy Easter to all of you. Bye now.